All right, folks, I think I have the required Kogito, the required Tutamon, the required Terra, and gosh, there was one more, Ordo, right? Pretty sure I got a lot of Ordo there as well. Yeah, everything's there. Got the various extras, things that we'll need. Basically, we got everything, I think. So we should be good to go ahead and hit this. Now, the big concern I have is that Ridge really messed up this altar, and I tried to repair it, but I am a little bit afraid that it's not going to work well. So let's have high hopes, but let's also be cautious. This is not a particularly taxing recipe, as most things that take nether stars, except for Kami, are generally pretty mellow. But this will allow us to keep Ridge Dog out once and for all, or in. Alright, things appear to be stable. I'm finally going to get the much valued focus here, which is just, it's fantastic. Let's face it. We've all been looking forward to this. Everyone in my audience has been telling me, Dave, if you want to defeat those foul fools, get a warding focus and then ward the heck out of your base. Cool part is I have this wand that basically has almost unlimited... Oh, yes. Success. Oh, man, look at this thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this on. Now, my big question is what happens if I tap something like this? Can I ward this? So I'm pretty sure I can ward something like this. That's warded. And if I take it off, it goes away. What happens if I ward this? Can I ward this? No. I could ward this, right? But I can't ward that because it's a tile entity. Can I ward... I can ward those blocks. So I can ward any block. Interesting. What happens if I ward glass? Can I ward glass? I can, in fact, ward glass. Now, interestingly enough, look, it forms... It breaks the connected texture, though, unfortunately. That is unfortunate. Does it break the connected texture of chisel stuff, though? So I have some connected texture chisel stuff in here. Let's see. It reconnects with itself. So chisel can do this. If we use chisel glass out there, what happens if I do this? Doesn't matter. Then, so it does reconnect to itself, which is cool. It also appears to light things up. Now, what about these? Ah, that's cool, actually. That could be extremely useful because that's surprising in nature. So I can't possibly... Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, man. Now, interestingly enough, when I ward it, it appears solid. So it messes with the transparency of that renderer a little bit. I wonder if it's going to mess with the transparency of the other renderer. So if I go like this, and I grab a chisel, and I grab a little bit of glass. Let's just grab 10 of them. Right? Hey, Chip. You know what? Chip gives me an idea. All right, folks. So before we continue, we're going to test something out. And that is going to be the next part of our build. It's going to help us get something else. Now, you've seen me go through and get a bunch of setups. And by the way, I now have freedom of movement on my boots. And I have hunger regeneration on my helmet, which is awesome. I'm no longer hungry. It's like perfect. Oh, it's so good. However, I have added a room here. We'll have to keep this room secret and safe, of course. But this room is going to be the new bastion, a last bastion, you might say, of defense against all these things. Because I have all these interesting defenses, right? Some of them good, some of them bad. But I don't know what Ridge or Bebop could possibly come up with. Who knows what crazy things they could come up with. So we're going to take out some insurance, you might say. To do that, I have been constantly refining diamonds and ghast tears. And I have even just finished making some new poppet shelves and broken all the old ones, and I'm carrying all of them, right? And so check it out. We are going to be using these protection from death poppets. They were not too hard. It's the drop of luck, which requires refined evil, which requires mostly just lots of ghast tears. That's actually the most expensive part. Oil of vitriol you get through very simple things. So it was pretty straightforward to make. The one thing that was a little bit harder to make was this but I can make it now, is my poppet protection poppet. Another drop of luck, just like before, but these toe of frogs, which is why I went in that frog murdering spree that disturbed so many of you earlier. The poppet protection poppet, along with anti-voodoo protection poppets, allows, basically it's a defense. So I have these voodoo poppets. I have a couple new ones because the old ones, well, I just want to make sure that I have a good redundant amount of them. Mostly for Sue, actually, because she's not going to have the poppet protection poppets. But what we're going to do is test out the ability to get tag locks, basically. So we're going to hop over here. Let's see if I can get it. I'm practicing. Oh, that's good enough, I guess. Whoa. No. Oh. Oh, yes. I'm over here now. That's not where I want. I got to get rid of that. Anyways, what we want to do is just make a bunch of tag locks. By the way, I got Bebop's tag. I had to do it off camera. It had to be very sneaky, but thanks to the information that Ridge Dog gave me, I managed to make it. So, tag lock. Right. We just need to get a few of these. So let's just go ahead and get, it sounds like we need 20 of them. So we just need a bunch of empty tag locks. All right. Well, and what we also want to grab is an activator, an autonomous activator. Here's the plan. Whoa, there's a kind of floaty there. The plan is that we are, of course, going to seal up this room as best we can and ward it as best we can. But the plan is that we are going to put down this activator and test if this activator can help us. Now, before I do this, I'm going to type backup. I'm going to save because I don't know. This could, in theory, crash the server. We're going to have it right-click. It's not sneaking, and it's just going to go forever, and we're going to see what happens. So just give me a moment to back up. Here we go. So let's go ahead and toss in a tag lock and see what happens. Oh, wow. It does, in fact, work. Okay, so it does work. It's a little tricky, though, because it doesn't stack right. But we should be able to get these this way. Most importantly, what we're going to do is use this technique to get other people's tag locks. We're going to teleport them into a trap, which forces them, as a matter of consequence, to end up as our tag lock subject. And once we get enough tag locks, we'll kick them out of the trap, and then we'll call it a day. Seems like a pretty straightforward trick to me. However, we're going to have to use a lot of mods to make it work right. So we'll go with that as an interesting way to get revenge, because I think that basically what I'm going to do is demonstrate to my foes that should they decide... See, this is the most interesting thing about tag locks. It's like random if they actually work or not. Wow. Should they decide to cross me, they will not come out of it well, because I'm just going to toss them in and I'm going to tag lock them. So we do need to protect this room, but let me go ahead and finish laying these down. So while I sit here doing that, we can go ahead and lay these out. Now, one's going to go where the activator is right now. One's going to go here in the middle, and one's going to go on the other side of that chest. So once we get the rest of these, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and put that down. And now all that's left to really do is to basically sit down and craft all these in, which is not exactly the most glorious task, but, you know, it's important. We got to just sit down and bind all these to myself. I'll probably put down a few for Sue, but this is a lot of extra life. So every time I would die, instead, I am saved from death. I am granted a reprieve, brought back to full life for whatever that is for me. Yeah, like I'm going to help that Joker. Yes. Anyways, I'm brought back to full life, and basically everything gets fixed. So let me go ahead and do this really quick. I'm going to do this off camera and set up the defenses, which is basically just binding all these tag locks to myself. All right, folks. So we have a whole lot of voodoo protection and regular protection, poppets, and just a million extra lives for me. I am now opting out of dying. I've decided, no more dying for me. I've just decided to unsubscribe from death. Now, let's go ahead and use a slightly different material, because this stuff is actually kind of hard for me to make. So let's see, if we just go like this, right? Oh yeah, that stuff is plenty dark. Let's just... I think this is fine. Okay. There we go. Nice, dark, imposing room. But of course, we don't want to leave it just like this. Anyone could dig their way in. So let's go ahead and ward our walls and doors so that no one can possibly break in. Well, they might be able to blink in. That's something we're going to have to deal with soon, is basically the fact that someone could blink in. Also, I'm going to have to, before I do this, by the way, say hello to Bebop's pickaxe. I'm going to have to make sure to ward these separately because I can't see underneath the poppet shelf. Always be careful when you're warding to get every last little bit. Otherwise, someone will find a way in. They'll find the one destructible block in your perimeter, and then it's all over for you. Your carefully laid wards no longer work. But I think that will do everything except for the door. So let me just ward this. Oh man, it looks so cool. I wish I would always look like this, because look at this. Holy smokes. Also, it's about this time that we remind ourselves, wow, are we lucky we have blood magic paired with this Thaumcraft mod, because otherwise this is just a lot of essence. And we would have to have spent a lot of time doing other stuff first to be able to get this far. And it's not like we have had a dearth of things to do. I mean, we're always working on new projects and experiments and builds. Yeah. Oh man, look at that. And yeah. So now here's the big question. What happens if we try and use our dig spell against this? Hey, that doesn't work at all, does it? And how about this? Oh man, that's perfect. Okay, well, I think we're in good shape here. This box could probably survive a nuke and probably protect its contents if we can get a door in place. So why don't we work on doing that next? All we got to do is get a door. Well, we could use the door gym, because if you got a door, you got a gym. But maybe instead we should focus on an arcane door. Yeah, we've used these. I've used these once before. They're not too expensive though. What we need to do is make some thaumium and some great wood planks. Now I think we may actually have some thaumium. We just need 4 of those. And we need some great wood. So yeah, just 1 of these should suffice. And of course we better make some room on our inventory before that stuff arrives, otherwise it won't arrive. Whoa, it popped out of me. Wow, weird. That was strange. Alright, so let's just, yeah, we need a zombie brain as well. Let me go ahead and put this door together, because again, you've seen this all before, and then we'll put it up and we'll have the first part of our poppet safe room set up. Hello, folks. So, I am sitting here seething in anger. I was content to leave things as they were, a little present and perhaps some cooling off between us and Bebop Fox and his crew of thugs. However, they have come and, fooling AC Parvis, they have blown up once again my property. It's no longer a matter of indulging in the childish antics of a strange robot. This is now war. So we're going to start with the overture in what is a little bit more of a serious thing. Before I was content to simply intimidate them. Now I am going to make their day difficult. We are going to start by using those freshly acquired tag locks. Placed in here, I believe. There's some of Bebop Fox. And let's see if we can make one of Parvis as well. And we'll leave everybody else out of it. But we are going to be using the Curse of Insanity. This must be performed during a storm, so it will be challenging for me to perform. However, it's definitely worth it. We need a Poisonous Potato, Exhales of the Horned One, Taglock Kits, Sugar, and Brew of the Grotesque. Let me assemble these quickly, because I do not know how long I have before these fools vanish, and I will not be able to take my revenge.